welcome back to my channel. My name is Gems, and on this video we are doing another sewing tutorial, which is on how to make your tote bag with zipper. So this one is it is like a trial, and I was able to make this. I found it really nice, but the thing for me is that it feels like that's quite big. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna try to make one that is a bit smaller than that. So if I wear this, so what I'm doing this time is I'm gonna make it a bit smaller, and we'll see what happens. So what we need for this project is we need our fabric. So you need the main fabric, lining, and also we need zipper, and at the same time we need wadding. So I'm gonna use the usual things that I'm using, which is my wadding, which is 6 ounce. You can also use 8 ounce if you want it a bit more fluffy. And then I'm gonna use the zipper that I'm usually using, which is from Amazon. I need to get it from my drawer there. And also the fabric. So this will be my lining. It's a lilac color. This is 100% cotton from Boyce's, and this will be my main fabric. Again, this is a bedding from the Nelm. So the sizes will be put in the description down below, because I'm still trying to figure out what size I need for this, because the ones that I made before, I've sent it to Art and Soul in Leeds, so I don't have the stock this time. So I was just watching the previous video that I made and trying to get the size of that, and then I need to add some fabrics for the zipper area. Also, we need an interfacing for that area where we add the zipper, so we'll need those things. And then after that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start quilting our fabric. So I'm gonna quilt mine and come back to you, loves. By the way, before I start quilting, I want to share with you the dress that I made, which is this. This is really pretty. And you can put the sleeves here, and the sleeves you can actually put it on your shoulder like that, and then you'll get a puff sleeves. Yeah, so I was able to finish that dress yesterday, but yesterday I was doing the sewing in the morning, and in the afternoon I went to bed to sleep because I came from a night shift and I was like already not in myself. So I said today will be a sewing tutorial day, so that's what we're doing. So we're gonna start quilting. So let's see first. I think the main fabric that I have, it should be 22 by 28 inches. So I'm ready to quilt now. The length that I'm using is length 4, and this is my fabric with my wadding ready. I'm gonna use my quilting foot. So I either use this, which have a mark, or this one. I also have that metal, but I couldn't find it, so I've lost it. I think I'm gonna use this so it makes the fabric flat to the wadding. I'm gonna start in the middle this time. So I've quilted my fabric. Now I'm gonna add my label. So when I'm adding my label, I need to make sure that since this is just one print way, like it's like this is the upper and this is the lower, when I fold this like that, this will be like reverse or upside down. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm putting my label on this part wherein it's on the right position. So I'm just gonna find the middle by folding it right sides together, and then you can like do a snap here, and then that will be our mark, that's the middle part. And then you can like count 3 inches from the top and then add your label and then stitch it. Now if you want to learn how to make your own label, I made a video previously, and you can like watch it there and try to make your own labels if you've got the right equipment. So I'm just gonna add this 3 inches from the top, and then we'll do the next step. After attaching your label, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start doing the straps. So I've got 5 inches here by 24. Got 2 pieces because we need 2 for the straps. And then what I did is I folded it in the middle, and then fold those sides again towards the middle so that I've got like a guide here. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert a wadding in the middle. So I've got like around 1-inch wadding here. And then what we're gonna do is we will put this on one side, close this part, and then fold this and then close this as well, so that we're hiding the wadding. And then we're gonna stitch this side. We'll start on the open side and then we'll do the other side as well. We'll do it until the end. And then we'll do it on the other strap as well. So again, when you stitch your straps, you have to start on the open side, and then after that you'll do this other side. So we've got our straps ready. Just check if they ended up with the right size, like same size, both of them. Because when we put it later on, we don't want one longer or one shorter. So I'm just gonna make sure that they are really the same size. I think I'm gonna trim this a bit. There you go. We'll put this aside together with our main fabric. Now we need to do the area wherein we'll add a zipper, because once it's done, we have to attach it first to the main fabric before we can do all other things. Okay, so I've got my zipper here, and then I've got extra fabric here. So I've got 3 inches by 11, and I've got 4 pieces because it's gonna be like inside and outside. Like if I'm just gonna show this to you. It's gonna be this part of the zipper, so we'll attach the zipper there. So we need for the inside and for the outside. That's what we're gonna do. We also need a fusible fleece here. So I've got this one that I got from Boys before. Okay, so what I did for this fabric for the zipper is I folded it like I think around 1 centimeter towards the wrong side of the fabric. Both of them, the one with fusible fleece and this normal one, which is the lining. Same here. So I did it on both sides. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the zipper. This is my zipper. If this is the right side of the zipper, we're gonna put like this. Like that, so that when we stitch this, it will be like that way. We're gonna sandwich our zipper. Okay, so this zipper is really tricky. I'm trying to find out how I can make it like really neat. So I've decided that I put it on the edge. I still have my fold here because I need to stitch that later on. So I sandwich my zipper. I've got half of it, the other half still here. So right side facing each other. I'm gonna stitch this straight here. I'm still thinking what I'm gonna do at the bottom. What I did is I still have the fold here, which is 1 centimeter, and same thing here on the one with interfacing 1 centimeter. So I'll probably just stitch them while they are folded. And also this one, we have to stitch this the other side. Like, so what we're gonna do when we stitch it is we're gonna start from here. Remember, this is our seam allowance, which is folded 1 centimeter. We're gonna stitch here, and then we're gonna stitch all the way up to here. Okay, so I've done one part of the zipper. This is the best way I can think of how I should do it, or how we should do it, or how we can do it. So I think we'll just follow this for now, and then later on, if I discover some other ways on how we can like improve the quality of this, then we can do another tutorial. So again, I'm gonna show you how I did it. So I've got my half of my zipper here, and then I've got my fabric with interface in here. So remember, it's folded here for the 1 centimeter seam allowance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sandwich this. Let me have a look. I'm gonna sandwich it here. So I'm starting on the top. So the upper part, it's open with the seam allowance there. And then the bottom part, I'm gonna leave it folded. Clip it So it's like that. So I'm gonna add my lining, which will be facing the right side of this. It's gonna be like that. Okay, so it's attached now. So this is my main fabric for the zipper area. That's my zipper. And this is my lining. They're all facing the right side of this main fabrics. So this one, this part where we've got the longer zipper area, my fabrics there are folded. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stitch this. Okay, so I put a pen there. So we're gonna start stitching from here so we can secure our zipper, and then all the way up to that corner, and then we're gonna stitch that way. That means we are securing the other end of our zipper so that when we open and close our zipper, it's not gonna come off. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm using a zipper foot here as well so that my stitch is not too far from the fabric and from the zipper. So once we've done that, once we've stitched it, we're gonna cut the corner. Also, I've cut the excess metal from the zipper because we need to flip this inside out. Just make sure when you did the stitch here, make sure that you do like few back and forth stitches just to secure it. Now we're gonna flip it inside out and see how it looks. Push that corner, but be gentle because zipper's very complicated. I think that doesn't look too bad. Yes. So the next thing we have to do is we need to stitch this. So we will stitch this so that our lining will be secured to that area, to the main fabric. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold this a little bit like that so that it's not gonna be seen a lot when I fold it and stitch it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna close this. So we're gonna stitch this and then we're gonna stitch this as well until the area where you can do it, because here with the other one I wasn't able to like do it until the end. I think it was only until here. So this part it's not stitched really, so I'm not bothered, but try the best that you can, but make sure that you don't break your needles. Or I think we also need to stitch this area, so I'm gonna stitch that. So now that we've got our zipper ready, the next thing we have to do is pockets. So with regards to the pockets, you can actually play around with this. So if you don't wanna add pockets, it's alright. If you wanna add pockets, you can adjust the size of it. But for me, I am using around 15 inches by 10 inches. I folded it in that way, this way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it right sides together. And then I'm gonna stitch it around. And I'm gonna leave an opening so that I can flip it inside out. So we're hiding the seams. I'll probably put my opening on the side, or you can maybe at the bottom. I'll put it at the bottom and then I'll flip it inside out. So I cut the corners of it just so that when I flip it inside out, it's gonna be nice and clean. So I'm just turning this, push the corners. I'm just gonna iron this so that it's nice and flat, and then I'll stitch this top area. Then we'll attach it to the lining. So I put my lining and the pocket here. So I put it like 3 inches from the top. I'm gonna stitch here this side at the bottom and on the other side. We're gonna leave the top open because that's our pocket. Now the next thing we have to do is we need to attach our strap and our zipper with the main fabric. I've got my main fabric here. I put a mark in the middle area, and also I did like 3 inches away from that middle part, and then on the other side as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach my strap on that 3 inches. I'm gonna do it on the other side as well. When you're adding your strap, make sure that it's not twisted. So just go along with it, and then just make sure that it's not twisted. I'm also adding my zipper now. So I've folded it in the middle just to know where is the middle part, and I did a snap there. And then I'm gonna add it on my main fabric. So the trick with this is our right side wherein we've got our fusible fleece. That should be facing the right side of the main fabric. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. This is my right side. This is where my fusible fleece is. That's gonna face the right side of the main fabric. And when I attach it on my main fabric, I'm gonna start in the middle wherein I've got a snap just to make sure that it's in the middle. So it is attached now. Now the next thing we have to do is we need to put our lining facing the right side of our main fabric. So how do we know that? We'll know it with our pocket. This is our right side, the one with the pocket. It's gonna be facing the right side of the main fabric. So I'm just, and then we'll do it on the other side as well. Now the next thing we have to do is we're gonna stitch this. It's the area wherein we've got the straps and the zipper. We'll stitch this other side as well. It looks good. The next thing I did is I matched these sides so we can stitch it, but we're gonna leave an opening on one side of the lining. So I'm gonna stitch this and this, and then the other side all the way at the bottom, and I think we're nearly done. So I've stitched the sides. I've left an opening here on the other lining. So what I did is I stitched it around nearly 3 inches from this top, and then I've left an opening which is around 6 inches, and then I stitched the rest. Now just remove the excess threads. So now what we have to do is we need to check if we catched all the fabrics, because sometimes when we're stitching, you know, these fabrics here, sometimes they don't get stuck with each other. Just make sure they're stuck with each other, they're stitched. Now if you're happy with that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stitch the corners. So what we will do is we'll just try to open this like that, and then put a mark 5 inches from here to here. And then we're gonna stitch all those corners where we put line. So I'm just gonna trim this excess with the lining. I was thinking if I'm gonna trim this one as well, but I feel like it adds texture with it. Not texture, like shape, like sturdiness. So I think I'm gonna leave it. You can trim it. I usually trim it, but I'll see first this time. If I don't trim it, what's gonna happen. Now we have to flip it inside out. It actually looks good. The only concern I have is that I feel like this always gets soggy, like that. I want it to be stiff. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a fusible fleece there that is a bit stiff. I hate it that it falls down like that. I want it to be like stiff. Let me figure it out. Let me find something. I think I've got like a fusible fleece here that's a bit stiff and hard. So if I add that, maybe it will help. Because I don't want to like stitch this here. Maybe if I stitch this here, it will be... It looks good. I think the zipper will be okay as well. The only thing is, I think I put the zipper on the other side. So the next step we have to do is we have to seal this top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stitch it. This should be facing downwards. So if we just put some clips onto it, and then we're gonna stitch it around. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change my needle to those that for the jeans, because I don't want to break that needle, and there are parts on that bag that is quite thick. So this zipper area should be facing your lining, and also when you stitch the strap area, it should be like that, like straight. We'll just stitch it around. So we've stitched this top area. Now it looks like that. It's nice and neat. The next thing is we need to seal this opening. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold it facing the wrong side, and then we will just give it a stitch there. Now we need to start to box the corners. So you have to push your lining to your main fabric so that when you stitch it, because we're gonna stitch them together, you are sure that they get caught. Push in those corners, and then I'm clipping them. We need to do these sides as well, because I think they look better when it's boxed on the side. So we need to push the lining to the main fabric. So you have to align it to this corner of your bottom bag, this. So it'll be like that. I'm gonna do this side as well. I think that looks good. Now we have to stitch this from here, from the top, at the bottom, then lift our presser foot, and then this, and then lift it again, and then we will turn the needle or the fabric and then stitch this up. So again, I'm gonna use the thick needle. I'm gonna use my jeans needle. So it's looking good now. Just trim the threads, and then we just need to do the zipper. So this is my thing here. I'm gonna insert it, and then we just need to seal this. So this is like an excess fabric that I have previously. So we just need to seal this so that when we open the zipper, it's not gonna get caught. So I've got here like 2 1/4 inches, and then this is 1 1/4 inches. So I'm just gonna try and cover this. Let me trim this neatly. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the middle. I'm gonna fold this towards the inside, and this like this. And then I will fold this, and then I will just stitch it on this side at the bottom and then this side, and that will seal it. If you have better way on how you can seal this end of the zipper, it's alright. For me, I am just doing this way. Yes, and we are finished. Okay, so this is my final bag, the result of it. That's how it looks like. It looks really cute. Think it's just right. So what I ended up doing here at the bottom is I insert the fusible interfacing that is quite thick or sturdy. It's not thick, it's sturdy. And yeah, I think it holds a bit on that part, so it's not really soggy now. But if you still put something, it's gonna be going down. So I think the best solution to that is when you're quilting it, you have to add the interfacing immediately, so that the interfacing will be attached to the wadding and also to your main fabric. And you just have to put it in that middle part, because that's gonna make it more sturdy and it won't be soggy. Because example, this one that I made here, it's a bit soggy. It's not really soggy, but you know. Yeah, so this is the final result. It is so cute. Now we have our zipper. Another thing that I want you to consider when you make this next time is when you put your zipper, because the way that I put my zipper is that this is my front. This is the front, and the zipper will be on this side. Like, I think the zipper should be on this part. Like when you wear it, your zipper should start here, and this is your front. So I think that's another thing you have to consider. I didn't really check it, so I can still manage, because if I just put my label here on my body part, this is still gonna be working. And this is how it looks like here. So you still have some openings here. Another thing maybe that we need to consider next time is that the length of this part wherein we put the zipper. I think it can be up until here at least. Like here. And also here. So that it covers the bag. But anyway, I am happy with the result. And this is actually the first time that I was just figuring it out in my mind on what size of the fabric we need for this. That's probably why it's not really accurate, but it's alright. So if you want this a bit longer, instead of, I think we used 11, we can probably get away with 13 or 12 and a half inches. It's cute. Yes, finally we were able to do it, and I hope you have a go with this bag. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, please put it on the comments down below. And if you know anybody who needs to watch this video, please share it with them, loves. And yes, I hope you have a go with this bag, and I hope you have a good one. And I'll see you on the next one, loves. Love you all, loves. Bye!